anyone say over here what will be the range over here? Here we are having two sets, R to R. Okay, R to R we are having real number to real number. Codomain is real number. Here the first set is not R. We figured it out. It is -3 to 3 only. Okay, this is the combination. Now we are trying to figure out what will be the set of possible output. Anyone? Alina, Naufal, Ali, what will be the set of possible output? Let's check it. Let's check with any like few integers. -3, 3. In between that 2 is there. In between that 1 is there. 0 is there. -1, -2. Let's check the pattern. Nothing. Let's check the pattern. What can be the set of possible output? That's called range. Okay. So if we will take -3, it is 0. When x is -3, f of x, we can also call this f of x as a y. So let's take it f of x only. It's 0. When x is -2, can you tell me what will be the result? Alina, Ali, and Naufal, what will be f of x? When you will take x as a -2, basically you 5. √5, right?
Yes.
When x equals to -1 we are taking, then f of x will be √8, right? When x equals to 0 we are taking, then √9. That is 3. When x equals to 1 we will be taking, it will be just like -1, that is √8, right? Similarly for 2, similarly for 3. So are you able to understand the pattern over here? That output is coming out as a which numbers? 9 minus 4, that is √5. F of x is 0. So can we say we are getting all the positive number starting from 0? We are not getting any negative number. Real number means all the negative numbers, 0, positive numbers, decimal numbers also, obviously. So can we say that we are only able to generate the positive result? We are not getting any negative results because of this x square, and because of our restricted domain. Because of our restricted domain, that is in between -3 to 3, we are generating the result from 0. Can we say only positive number we are generating? Just a second.
Yes.
Just a second. Okay, let's continue. So already we understand that x value will lie in between -3 to +3. What about the y value? That only we are trying to figure it out. Okay, so we understand y will be positive only. Y will be positive only. This much we understand. Now what will be the end point? That we are not able to, still we are not able to write the end point over here. Will it be infinity? Will it be like any specific number, or what? We are not getting it. But we understand that according to the pattern, y will come out as a positive number because negative is not acceptable. Inside the square root, negative is not acceptable. X value accordingly we have chosen -3 to 3 only. So y is whatever will be y, that will be positive. From 0 to any number, that's what will be our range. But which number, that is still we are not sure. Now to find the range, there is a a method that whatever is your f of x, every time this is how, like when we are having a function, this approach we can apply to find the range. This is just one of the approach for finding the range. There are so many ways of finding the range, and every time it will work, it is not possible. But this is one of the approach which we can apply in the question and can check whether this approach is giving us the range or not. What approach is that? Whatever your f of x is there, take it as a 1 and just change this equation in terms like, just try to isolate x over here. Try to isolate x means just keep x on one side. In our normal general language, if we will say, let's take out the value of x. Let's take out x from here in terms of y only. Let's take out x from here. Value of x is not possible, but let's take out x from here in terms of y only. So what we can do is squaring both sides. Yes or no? We'll be having y square is equals to 9 minus x square. Now what we want to find? X equals to something. Whatever will be there, x equals to something we are trying to find. Okay. So what we will do? This 9 we can transfer to other side, or we can take y square to this side and x square to other side. So can we write x square on the other side will be, let's say, like this. Can we write it like this? Can we?
Yes, ma'am.
Now x square is equals to 9 minus y square. X is equals to under root 9 minus y square. From we have just changed the scenario. We made the subject as a y over here. X and y variable we are trying to just replace with each other, but directly we cannot replace. For this function, you can see whatever we were having as a function, y is equals to under root 9 minus x square, and it came out as x is equals to under root 9 minus y square. But every time it will not come out like this. Every time it will not come out like this. Okay, we can have any different function. Maybe if we will be having f of x is equals to 8 plus x, that time y will be this one, and that time when you will find x, it will not be exactly like, it will become 8 minus 1. So always just like this we will not be getting. Your concept should be clear that y is equals to like this we can write, and then we will try to make x as a subject, or we will try to isolate x. What is the meaning of isolating x? Isolating x means keeping x on one side and everything on the other side. Okay. So this is what we got. Now we will try thinking what can be the possible value of y. What can be the possible value of y? It looks like the initial one. Now again we will start thinking about the domain. The way we have thought about the domain initially, we will think about that, like domain, the way we were thinking that what will be the possible value of this one. This one initially, that time it was x. Here we will think what will be the possible value of this y, and we will come to the conclusion that initially exactly same equation we were having, and this x value we have figured it out, that will lie in between -3 to 3. Here also this y will lie in between -3 to 3. But according to our observation, y has to be positive only. According to our observation, y has to be positive only. So are you able to analyze from here, combining this two condition? We will come to a conclusion that y will be from 0 to 3. Getting it?
Yes.
Y will be positive number and y will lie in between -3 to 3. Let me show it in the real line. 0, 1, 2, 3. -1, -2, -3. One of the conditions says that y will lie in between from from here to here. Okay, solid points I am making that y is going to touch this two. And the other condition says that y will be a positive number. That means it has to be greater than 0. It has to be just greater than 0. Till how long we don't know. If you will take the intersection of both the intervals, can you say that y will lie in the interval from 0 to 3? Can we? Ali and Alina. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Nopal already responded. Alina, are you getting it? Are you there, Alina?
Yes, ma'am. I'm there.
Getting it? Getting it or not?
I think so.
Okay, let me explain over here that whenever we have to find the range, actually we don't know how to find the range. Domain means we know. Domain means we know that whatever is the possible x value, that is domain. Okay, whenever we were having the ordered pair like this, then it was very simple to take out what is the range and what is the domain, what is codomain, everything. But when we are talking about the whole real number, then it is not that simple. Okay, then it is not that simple. We have to think about all the possibility. So we know the process of finding the domain. If we are having, let's say, 1 by x, then we know x cannot be 0. If we are having 1 by x plus 2, then we know x cannot be -2, because that can make denominator 0. If we are having under root of x plus 8, then we understand x cannot be -8. Okay, so about domain we understand when the function is, if we are having just maybe x plus 3, just we are having f of x is equals to x plus 3, then what is the possible x value? We can take any real number. We can take any real number. So the process of domain is clear to us. Even if we are talking about the real number, the process of finding the domain is clear to us, but we are not sure about finding the range. Okay, so let me take one more example. Just give me a second. Okay, for now, a particular example which will fit of in this scenario. I'm not getting. We will take it once I will be able to get such example which will exactly fit in this scenario. Okay. So basically, let me explain you what we are trying to do. Whenever domain we understand, if we are having any function, we understand what is the meaning of domain. That means what can be the possible x value. But range, when we have to find the possible y value, that will be quite difficult to think about. It will be quite difficult to think about what can be the possible y value. So what we can do, we can change up the representation of our function. That means we can change the representation of our equation. Always the function f of x, whatever is given, if it is given as a x plus 3, we can take it as a y is equals to x plus 3, because we understand that function is giving the output. That output we can represent by y also. Okay. So here also we are having the function. The function is under root 9 minus x square. Here we understood possible x value will lie in between minus 3 to 3. In the previous class, we have discussed that domain of this function is going to lie in this region, minus 3 to 3. Now, what about the range? So there is a way of finding the range. That way is you can represent this equation y is equals to 9 minus x square. You can, the way you are having one side y and another side the rest of the term, you have to just represent it by having x on one side and rest of the term on another side. Okay. Basically, range means possible y values. So from here, possible y value is quite, like, it's not that simple. But when we will just change the representation of this equation, we can write it as a y plus, okay, this was y square or what? It was like this. Yeah. It was y square is equals to 9 minus x square. If we will just change the representation of this equation, are we allowed to do squaring? Yes, we are allowed. Okay, both side, until or unless, if you are having an equation, if you are adding same number on both side, allowed. Anytime you can do. If you are subtracting same number on both side, allowed. If you are doing squaring on both side, allowed. If you are doing cubing on both side, allowed. If you are multiplying same number on both side, you are completely allowed mathematically to do that. So we have done the squaring both side. Then we were trying to keep x on one side, just that. Okay. So we got y square plus x square is equals to 9. Just here and there we are doing whatever mathematically is allowed to us. Okay. Now x square is equals to 9 minus y square got, and x is equals to under root 9 minus y square got. We got. Just the representation of this equation we change, and we have written it like this. Have we done any drastic change in the equation? Have we introduced anything by ourselves? No. Just little bit simplification here and there we have done. Whatever mathematically is allowed, that's what we have done. We have written x is equals to 9 minus y square because we wanted to find the range, and range means possible y value. Here it was not possible to think about what can be the possible y value. Here it was not that clear. It was not that clear. But when the same equation we have written in this form, here it is crystal clear that y will lie in the interval minus 3 to 3. Yes or no? Because inside the square root negative number, anytime in mathematics, inside the square root negative number not allowed. So definitely y will lie in between minus 3 to 3. Yes or no?
Yes.
Alina, are you getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, from here just represent little bit here and there we did, and from here it is crystal clear that y will be lying in between minus 3 to 3 and will not be other numbers. Now we also figured it out by taking few random number that y is always coming out as a positive number. Y is always coming out. See, when we have taken x as a minus 3, output came out 0. X as a minus 2, output came out root 5. That is positive only. When we have taken x as a -1, output came out √8. So just by the observation, we understand that whatever x we are going to take in between -3 to 3, y was coming out as a positive. So we have already figured it out. It was 0 to any number. But what number we were not able to understand. But from here it is clear that -3 to 3. So if we will take the union of these two interval, the combination, I'm saying union, I mean the intersection. Okay, this one and this one, the common part if you will take, that means the interval will be 0 to 3. Yes or no?
Yes.
One is representing 0 to maybe infinity. Another possibility is representing -3 to 3. So if you will take the combination of these two interval, are you landing at this place? Yes or no? Our observation says that, Alina, to you I am explaining, please let me know. Our observation says that output is a positive number. And here the representation says that output will lie in between -3 to 3. What is the combination of both the interval? What is the combination of both? Like, what is the final conclusion? The final conclusion will be the output will be 0 to 3. Is it clear, Alina?
Yes, ma'am.
This is one of the way of finding the range. Whenever suppose our f of x is given as x plus 2. What is the domain? X can be any real number, because whatever real number we can take, we will be able to generate y. Now, what is the range? So what you can do? You can take y is equals to x plus 2. Yeah. What is the range? You can take y is equals to, yes. Here also you can understand what will be the range, or this is also one of the way. You can take y is equals to x plus 2, x equals to y minus 2. What is the possible y value? Any real number. Getting it? Because any real number subtracted with 2 will be acceptable. Yes or no? Getting it? Alina, Ali, and Naufal. This is one of the way of finding the range of the given function. Getting it?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So possible y value, if you will keep on looking at the given function, it will not be that simple. But when you will just change the scenario and again you will start thinking like a domain case only, then it will click that, yeah, the possible y value will be this. Now let's do few functions we are having. That's what I wanted to discuss today. Let me take few questions quickly. Now the other way of finding the range, keep in mind all the way. If any question you are having and you have to find the range, you have to apply all the possible methods. Okay, because maybe one method will not help you to find the range or maybe to find the domain. So you need to know all the methods. Maybe this will work, maybe that will work. Suppose we are having a function f of x is equals to 2 minus 3x, and here it is given that x belongs to all real number and x is greater than 0. X belongs to all real number, till that it is fine. We could have started solving it just like the previous case. Okay, y is equals to 2 minus 3x, and then we could have written x on one of the side the way I was telling you, that we could have taken it as a y is equals to 2 minus 3x, and then 3x is equals to 2 minus y, and then x equals to 2 minus y by 3. This is how we could have written, and we started thinking about what can be the possible y value, that is the range, because here we have to find the range of this function. We would have started doing these things, but here it is clearly given that x value is not all real number. X value is only greater than 0. Any number is greater than 0, that is only acceptable over here. The function restriction, the domain is restricted over here. Domain is all real number, but that is greater than 0. Greater than 0, all real number is acceptable over here. So the approach which we were about to take, that approach we are not going to take now. Okay. This question we will solve like this. X is greater than 0. The condition, the restricted domain is there. Now here x greater than 0, we will try making this 2 minus 3x. And inequality chapter concept already I have explained you in the previous class. So can we take like this x we are trying to make 2 minus 3x. So at first let's make 3x minus 3 multiplied on this side and minus 3 multiplied on this side. Let's take it this way at first. Okay. Now you know whenever we are having inequality and if we will do the multiplication of negative number, the sign we have to, this sign will change or not?
Change.
It will reverse. Am I making sense?
Yes.
What are we trying to do? We are trying to make 2 minus 3x. Okay, minus 3x already successfully left side we have created, other side will be 0. Carefully we have reversed the sign when we multiplied by a negative number. That's why I was explaining inequality chapter concept in the previous class. Okay. So far any confusion? Ali, Alina and Naufal?
No.
Now 2 we are having. That means 2 we have to add on both the sides. Okay. We are allowed to add in inequality also. In inequality also, we are allowed to do the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Only we have to be careful when we are adding, when we are doing the multiplication or division by a negative number. Okay, so we are adding 2 on both the sides. Sign we have to reverse, yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we have to reverse the sign when we are adding a number on both the sides? When we are adding a number on both the sides, do we have to reverse the sign? Check it. 3 is smaller than 5. If you will add 2 over here and you will add same 2 over here, do you have to reverse the sign?
No, ma'am.
No.
No. Inequality chapter, we will be discussing this thing in detail over there. But now, for now, just know the basic that when we are adding same number on both sides, we don't have to reverse the sign. Previously, then why we reverse the sign? Because we have done the multiplication by a negative number. Let me show you over here. If you will divide minus 3 on both the sides, check it. Do we have to reverse the sign? Yes, minus 9, minus 15. And minus 9 is a number which is not smaller than minus 15. It is bigger than minus 15. Getting it? So when you will multiply or divide by a negative number, carefully take a pause, reverse the inequality sign. When you are adding or subtracting a number, we don't have to reverse. We don't have to do any changes in the inequality sign. It will remain as it is. So we got minus 3x plus 2 less than only 2. Or maybe we can write it as a 2 minus 3x less than 2. Yes or no?
Yes.
So here 2 minus 3x is what? F of x. 2 minus 3x is what? It is f of x. F of x is less than 2. Have we found the range? Yes. Y value is smaller than 2. F of x means y that is smaller than 2. We were trying to figure out y will be like in minus infinity to plus infinity. It will be like which number to take, which number to exclude. So here it is clear. It has to be smaller than 2. It has to be smaller than 2. If we have to write it in interval form, let me show you in the graph that y has to be smaller than 2. That means minus infinity to 2. Close interval or open interval? Open interval because
Open.
it is smaller than 2. If equals to sign will be there, then we will take the close interval. Since only smaller than sign is there, it will be open interval. Getting it? So range of range will be this interval minus infinity to 2. Any confusion? Ali, Alina, Naufal,
No, ma'am.
got it?
No, ma'am.
Let's do one more question. We are having the next question is f of x is equals to x square plus 2. X is a real number. So domain is all the real number. Range we have to find. Find the range. Find the range we have to find. Domain is x is all real number. Domain is all real number. We knew that. Range we have to find. Let's check whether that possibility is working over here or not. Is that possible that it will give us a proper interval and the range of the y value? So if we will be taking f of x as a y is equals to x square plus 2. We can take 2 to this side. Y minus 2 is equals to x square. We wanted to isolate x because for now we are not able to think about the possible y value. But if we will change the scenario, we will keep x on one side and everything on the other side, then maybe we will be able to think about y just like the domain case. Let's do that. X is equals to under root y minus 2. Yes or no? Plus minus. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, can you tell me what y value we are not strictly we will not take? Let me draw a real line. Strictly which y value we will not take over here? Y minus 2 has to be greater than or equals to 0. Yes or no? Because it is inside the what I said. Write your equation by making x as a subset. That means x will be on one side and everything on the other side. Now start thinking like a domain. Now start thinking like a domain. So previous class, have we found domain of this type of function? Yes or no? We have already discussed that time. What we figured it out, that whatever is there inside the square root, that will not be smaller than 0. It can be 0, great. It can be greater than 0, but it will not be smaller than 0. Can you recall the concept? F of x is equals to under root 9 minus x square. We have taken 9 minus x square bigger than or equals to 0, and then they started doing the factorization over here. Yes or no? Can you recall it? How we were finding the domain? Yes, Ali, Alina, and Naufal. Are you there?
Yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
here also we are just changing the representation of our equation, and we are starting like we are thinking like a domain only. What can be the possible y value? Okay, we are thinking like a domain only, but this time we are thinking about y. So whatever will be possible y, directly we will get the range. Initially getting the range was not that simple. Yes, there are other possibility also, but let's try this possibility for now because both the concept already you know. Okay, that we can write the equation like this and then we can think about the way we think about domain. So can we write y minus 2 greater than or equals to 0? Can we can from here, are we getting y is large? Are we getting yes or no? How to solve the inequality? The way we solve the equation, same way we have to solve the inequality. If the inequality is x plus 5 is lesser than 20, we will be finding x is lesser than 20 minus 5, x is lesser than 15. If the inequality is 3x is greater or equals to 10x plus 3, then the way we solve the equation, maybe instead of 10x, we will be writing 2x. So the way we solve the equation, 2x, we will be taking this side. Yeah. Greater or equals to 3, x greater or equals to 3. So the way we solve the equation, same way we have to solve the inequality. Only one place you have to be careful while doing the division or multiplication by a negative number, you have to reverse the sign. That's it. Getting it? So if we were having y minus 2 bigger than or equals to 0, y greater or equals to 2, can you see it? Yes, Alina, I was not getting a proper example to give you for that question. Can you see this example suits that best? Can you see, Alina? Y is equals to x square plus 2. Everyone understand Hindi over here? Alina, Ali and Naufal?
Yes, ma'am.
यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे? अभी रेंज के बारे में तो सोचना बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा है that x सारा रियल नंबर्स, x is all the real number, then y क्या होगा? तो ऐसे ऐसे अगर सोचेंगे ना तो समझ में आएगा y भी तो सारा ही रियल नंबर आएगा, y भी तो सारा ही रियल, कुछ कोई भी रियल नंबर आ जाएगा. ऐसे अगर सोचेंगे तो यही कंक्लूजन निकलेगा. एक्यूरेटली नहीं पता लगा पाएंगे कि क्या होगा रेंज, पॉसिबल आउटपुट क्या होगा. तो क्या करते हैं, डोमेन तो अच्छे से समझ लिया है, अब डोमेन का ही हेल्प लेंगे रेंज निकालने के लिए. कैसे? तो क्या करेंगे, इस इक्वेशन को y इज इक्वल्स टू ये लिखा है ना, इसको चेंज करेंगे. ओके, x इक्वल्स टू समथिंग ऐसे y के टर्म्स में क्रिएट करने की कोशिश करेंगे. कैसे करेंगे? 2 है, इस this 2 plus 2 is there, we will transpose it to this side. It will be y minus 2 is equals to x square. Any confusion so far?
No.
Now x equals to, जैसे ही स्क्वायर हटाते हैं और स्क्वायर रूट लगाते हैं, क्लास 9 से ही हमें पता है कि प्लस माइनस साइन तो लेना ही होता है, प्लस माइनस साइन के बिना तो ले ही नहीं सकते. वी नो दैट. ओके, क्लास 10 में अभी अभी मैं एक्सप्लेन कर रही थी कि प्लस माइनस साइन तो you have to take it whenever you are having x square is only 6 नहीं होगा, it will be plus 6 and minus 6. So जैसे ही स्क्वायर को स्क्वायर रूट में कन्वर्ट करते हैं, प्लस माइनस साइन तो लेना ही होता है, दैट वी ऑलरेडी नो. तो यहाँ पे क्यों मिस करेंगे, यहाँ पे भी लेंगे प्लस माइनस अंडर रूट वाई माइनस 2. ये कुछ क्रिएट कर दिया हमने, रिप्रेजेंटेशन अपने इक्वेशन का, अपने फंक्शन का. अब यहाँ पे जैसे डोमेन के बारे में सोचते थे वैसे ही सोचेंगे कि यहाँ पॉसिबल y क्या क्या हो सकता है. तो जैसे कि हमने प्रीवियस क्लास में डिस्कस किया था कि स्क्वायर रूट के अंदर सब कुछ चलेगा. नेगेटिव नंबर, ओनली नेगेटिव नंबर इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल. 0 इट्स ओके, ग्रेटर देन 0 इट्स ओके, डेसिमल नंबर ओके, रैशनल नंबर, इरेशनल नंबर, एवरीथिंग इज फाइन, बट माइनस inside the square root is not acceptable. तो इतना तो हमें पता ही है कि ये y minus 2 का वैल्यू जो होना चाहिए वो लार्जर देन और इक्वल्स टू 0 ही होना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये सारा ये कंबाइंड टर्म स्क्वायर रूट के अंदर है. तो इसका जो भी रिजल्ट होना चाहिए डोमेन के केस में, रेंज के केस में, कहीं भी मैथमेटिक्स में, स्क्वायर रूट के अंदर जो भी होगा उसको ग्रेटर देन 0 होगा, फाइन. इक्वल्स टू 0 होगा तो भी फाइन, बट लेस देन 0 नहीं होना चाहिए. ये सिर्फ डोमेन के लिए ही नहीं, थ्रू आउट द मैथमेटिक्स एप्लीकेबल होगा कि स्क्वायर रूट के अंदर हमें नेगेटिव टर्म चाहिए ही नहीं. तो y माइनस 2 हैज टू बी ग्रेटर देन 0 और इक्वल्स टू 0. अब यहाँ से y इसको सॉल्व करेंगे, जैसे कि इक्वेशन को सॉल्व करते हैं तो क्या आया, y ग्रेटर और इक्वल्स टू 2. अब हमें यहाँ से समझ में आ रहा है एक्यूरेटली कि y एग्जैक्टली कैसे लेना है. हाँ, y क्या होगा, इक्वल्स टू 2 हो सकता है और ग्रेटर देन 2 हो सकता है. यही है रेंज, इस फंक्शन का रेंज यही है. आर यू गेटिंग इट?
Yes.
Is it clear? Ali and Naufal?
Yes, madam.
तो ये भी एक तरीका है रेंज फाइंड करने का. ओके, यहाँ पे इनवर्स लेते हैं, फॉरगेट अबाउट द इनवर्स, यू विल गेट कंफ्यूज. यहाँ पे जैसे इक्वेशन के सिनेरियो को चेंज करते हैं, इक्वेशन को ऐसे लिख सकते हैं, और जैसे कि डोमेन के बारे में सोचते हैं वैसे फिर से सोचेंगे, तो y का पॉसिबल वैल्यूज ऑफ y हमें मे बी एक्यूरेटली पता लग जाएगा. ओके, सो दिस इज हाउ वी विल बी थिंकिंग अबाउट डोमेन एंड रेंज. ये डिफिकल्ट क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि हमारा सेट जो था पहले, लिमिटेड नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट्स थे हमारे सेट में, फाइनाइट सेट्स वी आर हैविंग, वो नाउ दैट कन्वर्टेड टू इनफाइनाइट सेट. दैट्स व्हाई इतना डिफिकल्टी हो रहा है सोचने में. ओके, सो कुछ मेथड्स है जो हम लोग यूज करेंगे, और वेट 18. ओके, कुछ मेथड्स है जो हम लोग यूज करेंगे और प्रैक्टिस इनफ करेंगे ताकि डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सिनेरियोज के बारे में पता लग जाए. ऐसा होगा तो ऐसे में भी कर सकते हैं. तो प्रैक्टिस, मैथ्स इज ऑल अबाउट प्रैक्टिस. ओके, लेट्स फाइंड डोमेन एंड रेंज ऑफ few predefined function. ओके, few some functions are there. कुछ ऐसे फंक्शंस है जिसका नाम ऑलरेडी डिफाइंड है, जैसे कि आइडेंटिटी फंक्शन. आइडेंटिटी फंक्शन, जैसे ही आइडेंटिटी फंक्शन, whoever will know, like if you will just say identity function, everybody must understand that okay, f of x is equals to x is called identity function. इस फंक्शन का नाम है आइडेंटिटी फंक्शन, दैट्स इट. सो ऐसे ही कुछ फंक्शंस है हमारे पास जिसका प्रॉपर नेम है, वो हमें उसका ग्राफ, उसका डोमेन, उसका रेंज वी शुड नो, हमें पता होना चाहिए. क्यों पता होना चाहिए? क्योंकि ये जो प्रीडिफाइंड फंक्शंस है, ये हमें हेल्प करेंगे बहुत सारे ग्राफ्स को स्केच करने में, बिना एक्चुअली प्रोसेस को फॉलो किए. आइडेंटिटी फंक्शन, फिर इसके बाद कांस्टेंट फंक्शन है, पॉलिनोमियल फंक्शन है, ये सारे फंक्शंस हम लोगों को पता लग जाएगा. तो लेट मी शो यू what you will be getting. Let me show you the importance of this, then you will be able to focus over here. So let me share the screen. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen? Alina, Ali and Naufal?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
अब यहाँ पे एक है मॉड्यूलस फंक्शन, मैं डिफाइन करूंगी कैसे है क्या है. यहाँ पे एक है मॉड्यूलस फंक्शन जिसका ग्राफ कुछ इस तरह का दिखता है. ठीक है, अब हमने ये पढ़ लिया क्लास 11 में कि इसको बोलते हैं मॉड्यूलस फंक्शन, और इसका ग्राफ ऐसा कुछ दिखता है. कैसे डिफाइन करते हैं मॉड्यूलस फंक्शन को, वो भी मैंने समझा दिया क्लास में, मैं समझाऊंगी. वी विल कम टू दैट. नाउ in future when you will give the exams, competitive exam, when you will go in class 12, when you will go in class 12, then you will realize the importance of this function जो हम लोग अभी पढ़ेंगे, जिसका डोमेन रेंज पता करेंगे और जिसका ग्राफ हमारे माइंड में रजिस्टर्ड होना चाहिए. इस मॉड्यूलस फंक्शन का ग्राफ ऐसा है. अगर इसी मॉड्यूलस फंक्शन में लिटिल बिट चेंजिंग अगर करेंगे, कहीं पे अगर ऐसा कुछ फंक्शन दिया हो x + 5, तो हमें पता चल जाएगा कि अच्छा ये मॉड ऑफ x + 5 तो मॉड्यूलस फंक्शन जैसा दिख रहा है. तो इसका ग्राफ जो मॉड्यूलस फंक्शन का ग्राफ होता है वैसा ही दिखेगा. जस्ट वो ग्राफ क्या होगा, थोड़ा सा शिफ्ट हो जाएगा, या तो लेफ्ट में शिफ्ट हो जाएगा या फिर राइट में शिफ्ट हो जाएगा. यही इंपॉर्टेंस है ये सब ग्राफ we must know all the graphs. Whenever you will encounter any situation where something will look like this type of function, maybe, let me, can you see the graphs, the green graph?
Yes.
Just by knowing the modulus function graph, you will be able to predict exactly, accurately, the graph of x plus 5, the graph of 2x, the graph of anything, maybe 3x minus 5. Can you see it? And accurately you will be able to predict. Just a moment, I think I have missed one mod over here. Now focus on the, let me wipe the blue one so that, yeah, focus on the purple graph. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
क्लास 11 में हमने क्या पढ़ा है? मॉड्यूलस फंक्शन का ग्राफ, जो कि रेड वाला ग्राफ है. अब क्या हम लोग अपने से ही प्रेडिक्ट कर पा रहे हैं 2x, द मॉड ऑफ 2x का ग्राफ खुद से बना पा रहे हैं. वी विल बी एबल टू, लाइक वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग दीज कंसेप्ट इन फ्यूचर. बट वहां पे क्या एक्सपेक्ट टीचर्स करेंगे? दैट यू ऑलरेडी नो the function of modulus, like modulus functions graph, you already know the domain of the graph, you already know the range of the graph, that well you have understood the graph. कि अभी डायरेक्टली बोलेंगे कि अगर पॉजिटिव नंबर मल्टीप्लाइड होगा तो ग्राफ में भी स्ट्रेच करेगा या मे बी कंप्रेस होगा, या फिर अगर एक नंबर ऑलरेडी मल्टीप्लाइड है तो पहले ग्राफ स्ट्रेच करेगा, फिर -5 है तो ग्राफ शिफ्ट हो जाएगा लेफ्ट में या राइट में. ये सारे कंसेप्ट वहां पे पढ़ाएंगे. ये नहीं पढ़ाएंगे कि मॉड्यूलस फंक्शन का ग्राफ होता क्या है. गेटिंग इट?
Ma'am, I don't know Hindi.
Okay, you should tell me. Naufal, you are saying? Naufal, you
I
said,
don't-
or Ali, you said?
I said no.
Naufal. Okay, Naufal, I am saying that when we'll be discussing the same concept again, maybe after class 12 for competitive exam, or maybe in class 12 also, okay, then we as a teacher, as a faculty will expect that you already understand the modulus function graph. You already know the domain and range and the graph very well of modulus function. Now we will start explaining from the mod of 2x or mod of 3x minus 5. Like if a number will be multiplied with that, then the graph is going to compress, or maybe it is going to stretch. Whether the graph will be shifting towards the right or will it be shifting towards the left. So these are the concepts which we are going to discuss over there, but not the basic, the graph, the actual graph we will not be discussing. Directly we will plot it over there. Okay, that is why these concepts are very important over here. Getting it now?
Yes.
Okay, let's continue with the discussion of some predefined functions, graph, domain, and range. So the first function is identity function, which function is called, thank you for letting me know, otherwise I could have continued in Hindi, because I was thinking that you all understand Hindi and you will be able to connect with me. Okay, so thank you for telling me. Anyone, yeah, so let's continue with the same identity function. Any function, this function is called identity function, where f of x is equals to x is called identity function. The name of this function is identity function. What will be the domain, what will be the range, and what will be the graph? These are the three things we are going to discuss over here for every function. So can you tell me what will be the domain of this identity function?
R.
R, all real number is acceptable over here, and the range will be all real number. All real number, because here no restriction is there. Square root, rational, like denominator, nothing is there. So all real number. Domain is all real number, range is all real number. How exactly the graph will look like? The graph will passing through the origin. This is how the graph will look like. This is the graph of the line y is equals to x, and this is the graph of the line identity function f of x is equals to x. How we got this graph? Just by using class 9 concept, that maker table, Take x, take y, take some random x value, then find y from the equation, locate the coordinate, and then you will be getting the graph. This is the method which gives us all the graphs, any graph. And this is how we will be getting the graph. The graph will pass through the origin, and this is how we will be having the graph. Any confusion so far? Any confusion so far?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Now next one is constant function. Constant function. How exactly the constant function looks like? Constant function means f of x is equals to c. C means a number. It can be f of x is equals to 2. It can be f of x is equals to 24. It can be f of x is equals to 3. It can be f of x is equals to any number. That's called constant function. How exactly, what will be the domain, what will be codomain? So can you tell me what will be domain of this constant function and range? Domain and range. What is the possible x values?
Natural numbers.
What you said, Naufal?
Natural numbers.
Natural numbers. Can you see any x over here? Suppose I am writing a function. That Naufal f of x is equals to 3 is a function. Tell me what is the domain over here? Can you see any x over here? Can you see any x over here? No. That means whatever we want, we can take as a x. Whatever we want, we can take as a x. There is no foundation at all. And what will be the possible output y value? Range. It will always be just 3. It will, whatever you want, take it x. X is a 0, x is a 1, x is a 2, x is a 0.1, x is a 0.5, x is a 0.6, x is a any number, but your range will be 3 only. Okay, so that's why for a constant function, if the function is in this form, f of x is c, then for this one, domain is all real number and range is just c. Any confusion? How exactly the graph will look like? You should just, this graph must be like crystal clear to you. Anytime if I'll ask you, draw the graph of identity function, constant function, modulus function, signum function, you will be able to do it. That's how you have to learn it. Okay, so constant function graph is, suppose this is example we have taken, f of x is equals to 3. Whatever is x value, whatever is x value, y is 3 only. Whatever is x value, x is 1, x is 2, x is 3, x is 4, x is, whatever is x, y is 3 only. Whatever is x, y is 3 only. Okay, and if you will join them, this is how your graph will look like. Any confusion? Instead of 3, if I will write c over here, c is just a number. This is how your graph will look like, that whatever you are going to take as a x value, input, whatever you will take, your output every time will be 3 only. So y, you can see the coordinates. This coordinate is reflecting x as a 1, y as a 3. This coordinate is reflecting x as a 2, y as a 3. This coordinate is reflecting x as a 3, y as a 3. Whatever you are taking x as x value, y is coming out as a 3 only. And that's why the constant function graph will be